Hello, everybody. It is Renee and Dee, and we are going to be talking about low carb cooking today, as we do every Wednesday. I am broadcasting from our Southern California location down here in sunny Palm Desert, and Dee is up in Medicine Hat, Alberta. So, Dee, tell us what your weather's like.
It's gorgeous today.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome.
Plus 24, and so that's going to work out to be in your 70s in the Fahrenheit.
Wow, wow.
Yeah,
Wait, last week it was snowing.
yes, it was. True story. So that is Alberta weather. So when you see graphics of, tornadoes or windstorms and then rain and snow and hail, that's just a normal week in Alberta. We get it all. And today the sun is shining. It's gorgeous out. So hopefully, we call these a little bit of an Indian summer in the fall. So hopefully it will hang around for a little while. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, the sun always is a great motivator.
Yeah. So if you guys are just logging in and you are live, tell us hello. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from. Tell us what you are doing. Are you on Ideal Protein? Are you on a different program? Where are you at in your weight loss journey? And first of all, would you do us a favor and hit the share button? The more that you share and the more that you hit the like button, the bigger reach that Facebook affords us and really blasts our program out to more and more people. So we would really, really appreciate that. All right, Dee has been super, super busy, and she has been creating these amazing cauliflower bowls. So one of the things I was telling Dee is, here in California, there's a lot of bowls going on, and people love a bowl, and whether it's a rice bowl or different kinds of bowls, so we decided to try the cauliflower bowl. So Dee, I'm gonna bring up our fabulous, gorgeous pictures. Dee's like the amazing photographer, and we are going to be talking about all kinds of cauliflower rice bowls. So tell us what you got here.
That one is the chicken fajita cauli rice bowl. So if you are a chicken fajita lover, then this one is for you. And the really cool thing about bowls, whether you are using cauli rice, or I did a few with broccoli rice too, because it works in the same form, is that all the flavors that are in a traditional fajita pan are right there in that bowl. And the cauli rice is an excellent vehicle to soak up that fajita sauce. So the other really brilliant thing about any type of these bowls is you can really customize the veggies or the seasonings really to suit your taste. Or even doing a bowl night for your family. Everybody's can be a little bit different, or one quick, really big in the pan, get all the ingredients in there, put them together, and then just top everybody's rice bowls how they like. So for example, in this graphic, the red onion, because I love onions in my fajitas, were simply just not cooked because we can't cook the onion, but they were added as a raw garnish after to equal a half a cup of veggies. So the long-standing theme in every recipe that you're going to see here today is every single one of these bowls has 8 ounces of protein and 2 complete cups of veggies, with one of those cups of veggies either being the cauli rice or the broccoli rice. It's that simple. So usually in each graphic, you will see a half a cup and a half a cup of 2 others. So for a total of a minimum of 3 veggies per bowl, a protein. There's some real consistency in the seasoning and spices that I use, so we will talk about that for a couple seconds after we see a few more recipes to give you some hints and ideas on what kind of grocery staples you could and maybe should have in your house. went on a low carb or low maintenance or just, a lower sugar, clean eating journey. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what, I think the great thing about cauliflower rice is that if you want a hearty meal, this is a great addition. It feels like a hearty meal. It feels like it's big. It fills you up. And of course, as we talk about, I'm going to flip this over to our next bowl. But as we talk about, these vegetables are they metabolize slowly, so they keep us satiated for a nice long period of time, and that's really what we need, instead of things like sugar that or things that metabolize to sugar, like pastas and all these starchy veggies and what have you, that are gone in a half an hour and then we're hungry again, right?
Absolutely.
All right, tell us what this is, Dee.
So this is an orange chicken bowl over the broccoli rice, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know the best terms for that, but the really neat thing is broccoli grates down like rice, just like cauliflower does. And so if you prefer broccoli over cauliflower, why not? Orange chicken, stir fry. I make a wonderful orange chicken stir fry, and one of the veggies that I usually use in it is broccoli. So why not rice it and have it over top? Because I had, I had my veggies for my week in the fridge here, so you will see a few repeats. The colored peppers, the snow peas being one of them. Snow peas are allowed. Snap peas are not. Snow peas are on your 4 cups occasional, so make sure that you track them. The chicken, every protein that you see here, really simple, really fast. You can buy them in single servings. You can buy them in bulk packs. You can prepare them 2, 3, 4, 5 days ahead of time. Something like the chicken strips there, you can prepare those and have them in your freezer ready to go for really fast meals, such as this orange chicken. Another thing that we should touch on right from go is the actual ricing part of your cauliflower or your broccoli. Almost every grocery store now, including the big box stores, you can purchase riced cauliflower and a few others, and just that alone. So we want to stay away from ones that have added cheese or other seasonings, so still read the label, but if it's just riced cauliflower, you can bring those home and have them ready to go in your fridge. So really, really fast meal prep can be done with any kind of these bowls. I personally don't cook my riced cauliflower or broccoli, because every bowl you see here has the hot vegetables and sauce going over top. So that makes my cauliflower rice or broccoli rice tender enough for me. But you absolutely could give it a quick stir fry for a little bit of extra heat before adding your veggies on. So really easy, again, to customize your taste preference. Yeah.
So now, Dee, let's talk about when you're measuring. So if you're buying these things in like a bag that's already done,
Yeah.
what's the protocol for measuring?
So the great thing about cauliflower rice, it is just cauliflower broken down into smaller bits. So a volume glass measuring cup is good to go. That is one
Okay.
cup. Yeah, 1 cup is 1 cup. Because it is riced, it's going to sit right on top of each other. It is a cup. And I encourage you, if you don't believe me, you go ahead and you
Rice it.
there's always been talk about this, and it's a little bit of a pet peeve but you do not need to weigh veggies. Volume is the first way to measure. If you need if you need a weight attached to that, fine, but volume is the best way. And then this way too, with the rice product, you're not getting cheated. There's no air spaces. It's all touching. We're not shorting you on veggies. Super, I use this word every week, but I think it's really important. Again, one medium, it wasn't large, head of cauliflower yielded 5 cups of riced cauliflower.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like I say, it makes a super hearty a meal. So before we get going on this next gorgeous recipe, let's say hello to a couple of people. Jennifer's from my clinic, and she is in phase 1, and Jennifer's been doing awesome.
Nice.
She was doing some cooking out of a different recipe book, and we had to kind of rein that in. So she decided to stick with our show and Dee's recipes to get her through to the end of her protocol, and she is doing awesome. Hey, Jennifer. Okay, so we have hello from Bonnieville. We got Lee Cousins from Bonnieville, Alberta. Today is 8 weeks down, 37 pounds. That is spectacular. Phase 1. 75 pounds to go. Loving these bowls. Ah, great. Awesome. Like to give you a bunch of different ideas. And we have Susan. Susan is a coach over in Texas. Nice to see you, Susan. And Michelle says cauliflower rice is good with IPO meal too. Well, that's a new one for me. She also says, are you going to say where riced broccoli is available? And the place that I get it, and it is fresh, is Trader Joe's. So I'm not sure if you have a Trader Joe's, but definitely we get it there. And I'm not sure where Michelle is from. And Gloria says hello. So nice to see everybody. Did I get that one, Gloria? Yeah. Okay, so if you are just coming on, do us a couple of favors. Push the share button and share it out. If you're a clinic, please share it online. And then the more likes and hearts we get, the more reach Facebook gives us. So if you can just keep hitting the like button for everything that you see that you love. Okay, Dee, what do we got here?
Ooh, this is a lemon salmon bowl, cauli bowl. And I actually had this one for lunch today, and it's spectacular, actually. It was so good. And this one is paired with some red peppers and some Shanghai bok choy. Really simple seasoning. This one had some lemon, a little bit of, garlic is a theme of mine, so I try to pull back and leave it out of some recipes. This one was savory, though. I didn't put any sweet sauce on this salmon. This was a herb and lemon one. Really delicious. Also a really easy way to get your 2 teaspoons of required oil in per day. So whether you're preparing your protein with it, or stir frying your veggies a little bit with it, or just drizzling it over your cauli rice or your broccoli rice, it's a great vehicle. Always fun to garnish these bowls too for a little extra flavor with fresh herb and seasonings. So we'll talk a little bit about that at the end, some kitchen staples that I think you should add to your grocery list just for some really fast meal prep. So really easy, really fast. Fish is great in cauli rice bowls because it's so fast to prepare. So if you don't have a lot of time, by the time you're done slicing a few vegetables or washing a few vegetables or even opening up some bags, your fish can be seared and cooked both sides in a pan and done and ready to go for a bowl. So if you have 15 minutes, you have time for a awesome, healthy, filling meal.
Yeah, and the cool thing about both the rice cauliflower and the broccoli is you can have it already prepared and in bags in the freezer, and just dump it into your pan and saute it in a little bit of non-fat chicken broth or vegetable broth, and warm it up real easy. So it's pretty simple stuff. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so what does Dee have next? This looks delish.
That is a curry shrimp cauli bowl. So super yummy. Now that's it, by the way, everybody, that's a Renee word, super yummy. That's what Renee likes to say, so I love saying it.
Heart.
Yep. So traditional curry dishes usually have, they're going to either have some yogurt fat or they're going to have some coconut milk fat. And while we can't have that on a phase 1 through 3 protocol such as IP, or you might be leaving that out if you're doing a low fat weight loss protocol right now. However, to get that really good curry taste, you don't need them. If you love the taste of curry, you still get the taste of curry. This one I did use some vegetable broth. You could use chicken or vegetable broth and just a little bit, because really all you're doing is creating enough liquid to make a nice smooth sauce. I did use just 1 tablespoon of Walden Farms Amazing Mayo, just to give it a little bit of creamy vehicle. The neat thing about that is it does have a hint of sweetness, but so does yogurt. And if you're using unsweetened coconut milk, then of course it's not. But if you're somebody who likes to cook with sweetened coconut milk, then you're still getting that little tiny bit of that hint of sweetness. And then I paired for the veggies in this one, I used Savoy cabbage and bean sprouts. So again, they saute like a flash in the pan and they're done. Same with if you don't want it, you can buy cooked and prepared shrimp, tail on, tail off, just super fast to prepare. So something like this, 10 minutes and under, and you're done and on the table and can sit down for a meal. Again, we speak about you're able to buy rice cauliflower. All the pictures that you see here today, I just rice them with a box grater. I have a good old-fashioned box grater, and I love it because then I can choose if I'm fine grating or large grating. And so for the rices, I use the largest side of the box grater. Really fast, really easy. So I don't mind it. So if I happen to shop at my local grocery store, which doesn't have a lot of these types of bagged items, no big deal. I can still get it done pretty fast.
Super easy. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay, so if you're coming on, tell us where you're from. Tell us what your weight loss journey is. Share with everyone where you're at along the way. So it's always fun to get to know everybody. Okay, Dee. Woo! I love those red peppers and the green. This is like a very, very colorful bowl.
This is a Thai shrimp inspired cauli rice bowl, and the flavors, there's such a melody in there. There's some heat, there's some sweet, there's some spicy. Again, the snow peas, the red peppers, they're a theme this week in my fridge, so I put them to good use. Paired with lime, some red chili pepper. It's just a burst of flavor in your mouth, and it's so nice and bright. And so another thing that I love about bowls is that your veggies are fresh and crisp and alive. Nobody has been floating in water. Nobody has died the veggie soggy death. So there's nothing worse to me than overcooked veggies. And so that's another beautiful thing. Fresh, crisp, really pleasing color. And me, I always talk about this, but if it's more pleasing to your eyes, it is going to be more pleasing on your tongue just automatically, because the way things look is really, it's really important. So yeah, take the time, put a little fresh garnish on it, cut a little bit of lemon or lime wedges, give it an extra little squeeze. Another tip, the sauce in your pan that you're making, a little bit of broth, tiny bit of broth, even a tablespoon or two, deglaze your pan, get all the wonderful little bits out of there and over your bowls, drizzle it over your rice. You'll see in some of the pictures, some of the rice has drizzle all over them, some of them don't. It was just kind of where I aimed and where I put the extra sauce, but use it all, get all those spices out of the bowl because they're wonderful on all parts of the bowl. So
yeah, that sounds so good. And this time of year, as we're going into fall, we are wanting to have some warmer things in our tummies, and we tend to start heading towards warmer soups and different things, and this kind of gives us the soup without all the brothy stuff. So you still got all the veggies, and you can do your veggies raw. You could roast your veggies, and you know, again, those are all things that you can do and have already prepared in the fridge, and then you know, simple to put the bowl together, right, Dee?
You bet. So
okay,
fast.
this looks amazing.
This is yellowfin tuna. And I went for a lemon and garlic and Dijon mustard dressing on this one, again with a little bit of broth. I really just wanted, because I really wanted the lemon and mustardy flavor to come out. I actually went really simple with the veggies this time. So pictured is just 1 cup of green beans with your 1 cup of cauli rice. Great flavor also comes from the zest of your lemons and limes. And is actually the really neat thing about those is they're less carbs, because you need less of the actual zest to get flavor. It offers amazing flavor. And so use a vegetable peeler or just a really sharp paring knife. Don't get the thick white part, but just get the zest off. You don't need a zester. You can just, you know, dice it up really fast with a knife. You'll see it in a lot of these recipes too. I talk about a garlic clove. And I was writing in a lot of my recipes minced. And what I should have said was, you know, crushed or through a press. So I love putting garlic through a press, so that 1 garlic clove, you know, gets smashed into a million pieces, so that it goes all through your flavors better than just having the big chunk. Now, if you like the big chunks, that's fine, but I want that flavor infused through everywhere. So I love a garlic press, love fresh ginger, love fresh garlic, really easy condiments, or, you know, that you can have on your kitchen counter in the fridge, ready to go. So yeah, really simple bowl. Those were frozen green beans from my mama's garden. Had a great big bag. She brought a great big bag of green beans that I wasn't going to get through. So I just simply threw them in my freezer, and I grab out a handful at a time when I need them. And they look that pretty straight out of the freezer from her garden. So bonus for me.
Yeah, lucky you, because I don't know about anybody else, but I don't get any fresh green beans out of the garden. So if you guys are on here, do us a favor, hit the share button, and then every time you see something that you love or you like, hit the like or the heart button, and that sends out our broadcast to a much, much bigger audience. Okay, Dee, last but not least, this looks, not only is it gorgeous, but it sounds and looks delicious.
So I bet you're hard pressed to know anybody that has never heard of a Korean beef bowl. I think most people have heard of a Korean beef bowl. There's so many versions out there for this. It is so simple, so fast. It is literally, you are going to brown your extra lean fried ground beef. You want to rinse that extra fat off if you want, go for it, because we're not really getting the flavor from the fat in this recipe, but it's going to be your red pepper flakes and your sugar-free maple syrup and your garlic. It's so simple. You just throw all the spices directly into your beef, and voila, over your broccoli rice, and you're done. It is so fast and simple. What I really like about this one too is you can make multiple batches of this beef and have them frozen, pre-portioned, because lean ground beef is so freezer friendly. You know, you package it right, you can have grab and go bags out of your freezer so fast. So a couple minutes in the pan, again, you're done, you're reheated, you're over your rice broccoli or cauliflower, and, you know, little bit of extra green onion as a garnish, because that's the onion that we can have cooked or raw. It's fantastic and so easy. So easy. So if you haven't tuned in before and watched us talk about ground beef, so you can purchase extra lean ground beef, and you can scramble fry it, and you can actually throw it through a colander and rinse off extra fat if you're concerned about consuming extra fat. So you can make it even, you know, a leaner version of a protein choice. And it's often can be a more economical protein choice as well. Other than, you know, I would eat it. I would eat steak every day if my budget would allow it, but it doesn't. So so just having a wide variety is really it's nice as well, but really easy make ahead and have to go. Every single one of the dishes shown today, all those proteins can be done ahead. Same with your broccoli rice, same with your cauliflower rice. You know, the seasonings and the sauces only take a couple of minutes. And I think that's something that we should spend a little bit of time talking about is stocking your pantry or your fridge with some seasoning. So Renee, what are your to-go seasonings in your?
Okay, so I love Indian food. So pretty much my seasonings, I always have ground ginger, turmeric, cumin, cardamom, coriander, garlic, of course. I put a lot of, I'm like Dee, I'm the garlic queen. So garlic and yeah, so those are my favorites. I also love things that are spicy, so red pepper flakes.
Yeah.
Pretty much go in everything.
They're so good. They're so good. So a few things that you could consider. Now, if you are on, you know, IP and you're in phase 1 through 3 and even in maintenance, some must-haves in the cupboard for me are, and I, you know, we don't get any kickback. We're not endorsing, but I am going to brand name because I know.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't get any kickback.
I just know that they are user-friendly, you know, on multiple protocols. And so Bragg's soy aminos. So
love.
Yeah, don't buy soy sauce. Don't buy, you know, I know there's tamari sauce and soy sauce and all kinds of different brands. Lots of them have gluten, lots of them have wheat, lots of them have a lot of carbs in them. Kick it to the curb. Almost every single grocery store sells Bragg's soy aminos now. It's a true 000 and it's like a soy sauce. So it's a safe one to use in recipes. You know, so if you see a tablespoon at a time of that recommended, go for it. It's safe. We're not adding a ton of carbs. The same with Bragg's apple cider vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
So apple cider vinegar with the mother, it's, you know, it's awesome. You could drink it straight, but it's awesome for any time where you need a little bit of acidity in a recipe or it calls for vinegar. You can totally use apple cider vinegar. You don't need red wine vinegar. You don't need white rice vinegar. You don't need plain white vinegar. The apple cider vinegar will be a great substitute. If it says vinegar, go for some Bragg's apple cider vinegar. Tins of chilies, jalapenos, those kind of things. I don't know if you've ever seen those little tins. Many brands, there's just pure chilies or pure jalapenos in a tin. So if you don't want to have buy these things fresh every week and sometimes they go bad because you didn't get to them, have some little tins in your pantry ready to go, just the really small ones. And then that way they're economical and they last a long time. Red pepper flakes they are on my list. If you need heat, Tabasco sauce, Frank's hot sauce, but red pepper flakes are awesome in everything and they add great heat. So you did cover a little bit of the turmeric and the love cumin. I love garlic and ginger. Whether you buy them already pre-smooshed up in the jar or you have the fresh pieces on your counter, again, a really economical ingredient. I love fresh for ginger and garlic, but it doesn't have to be, paprika, oregano, any Italian seasonings, chili powders. Have a good look at some, get some good staples in your cupboard. The other one that I am going to brand name drop again is the Ideal Protein maple syrup. It's sugar-free, but anytime, this is a question that I get asked a lot, and that, I'll get clients and coaches that say, well, my client wants this sauce and they can't have it. And, the only ingredient in that sauce that they can't have is the sugar. It'll call for white sugar or brown sugar. Simply kick out that sugar and replace it with your Ideal Protein maple syrup. And it will be close enough. So in our teriyaki sauces, in our sweet and sour sauces, in our orange chicken sauces, Walden Farms orange marmalade works like a charm to get that orange flavor in there. You don't need juice. There's condiments that can make it sweet. But anytime you see brown sugar or white sugar in a sauce, that makes it a no-go. sub out the Walden or the Ideal Protein maple syrup. Some prefer the Walden Farms. I'm just going to be honest with you. I do prefer for the maple syrup. IAPs. It's cleaner. It's got cleaner ingredients. So if that's important to you, just check it out. But yeah, love that one. So let's start working on building our spice cupboard, our easy to grab and go and prepare fast dishes. So because yeah.
Try new things, because we think we don't like certain flavors, but we'll be so surprised when we try something. So instead of go looking at oh, I'll try that rice bowl because I know I like that flavor, but why don't you try them all, and you'll find that your taste buds, by eating clean, your taste buds naturally change to more natural flavors. And suddenly, people always ask me like, oh, you eat salads so much, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, I actually really like salads. And I was not a vegetable eater at all. And so, and I grew up vegetarian. So go figure. Anyway, but seriously, try every single bowl, and I bet you'll love them all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm sick of veggies. And I'm going to call it an excuse. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm gonna be a little bit mean here. If you're sick of veggies, you can say it a million times. If you don't learn to find things that you like and things that you enjoy cooking and things you're willing to have, you will struggle forever. They have to become a normal part of everyday life. So if you're not willing to eat them while you are trying to take off the weight and get healthy, you won't be willing to eat them when you're done, and it'll put you straight back to square one. So a really big part of our goal here is to present them in ways to you to help you become successful and trying new things and enjoying them. And that doesn't mean that I expect you to run out and love 10 new veggies every week or every day, but we're just going to keep encouraging you to try new ones and find ways to get them in, and also in really, in fast, simple ways too, because for a lot of clinic protocol, doesn't matter what protocol you're on, sometimes the plan and prep can be really overwhelming, and it's just getting into that. Let's break it down. Let's make it easy for you. Let's find tools to help you be successful. And if easy prep is part of that, if it's a part of the journey that makes you feel overwhelmed, then let us help you. Let's break it down into smaller steps and find a starting point that works for you too. So
I completely agree, Dee, because you know what, I'm opposite of Dee, so I'm not a big cook. Like, it's not my passion, but I have learned how to make things that I know will keep me on track and will keep me it keeps my body running. Like, that's an important thing to me. So my vegetables, that's 90% of why I love my vegetables is good elimination. Yeah. And just making that a way of life, and making that when we learn to make 80% of our plate veggies, we are going to be on the path to creating that lifestyle of maintaining our weight for the rest of our lives. And are we going to have indulgences sometimes? Yes, but they're going to be sometimes and not every day. So this has been a super fun show. Dee, you outdid yourselves. Your bowls look amazing. If you guys are on here in the replay, tell us where you're from, ask us your questions. Dee and I both go back through, we answer people's questions. If you have something you want us to create, let us know what that is. And of course, hit the share, the like, and the heart button. And we will see you next Wednesday for another one of Dee's amazing creations. Bye, Dee.
Bye, Renee. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.